The movie starts in Hong Kong with the aftermath of a devastating tsunami. The city is now turned into a massive sea filled with dangerous creatures like sharks. The fierce storm took everyone by surprise, causing widespread panic and leading to the deaths of half of the population. People desperately tried to save themselves and their loved ones in the chaos, but only a few succeeded. It is revealed that those who immediately sought refuge on the roofs of tall buildings managed to survive. Suddenly, the protagonist, Asha, wakes up from a terrifying dream. Though saddened, she musters up the courage to get up and start her day. Asha has been trapped in a building situated in the middle of a submerged city for 5 years. Following the tsunami, the building is empty with no one else around, and she has hidden various items in different rooms to avoid getting robbed by pirates. After some time, Asha quietly makes her way to the terrace. There, she has collected rainwater, which she boils to make herself some coffee. After enjoying her drink, she takes out a radio hidden nearby, inserts new batteries, and listens to music through her headphones. This small pleasure comforts Asha as she looks out over the city that was once sprawling with humans. Later, we get to know that one of her biggest challenges is finding water. When it rains, she cleans up the accumulated water with a cloth, wrings it out, and stores it in a bottle. She then hides the precious water in a tank, as many robbers often scavenge the area for loot. Asha meticulously keeps track of how many bottles of water she has left, noting everything down in her diary. For breakfast, she eats 2 spoonfuls of noodles boiled in water and conserves her supplies as much as possible. In the next scene, Asha remembers the good times when she could enjoy delicious meals at restaurants with her friends. Who can afford that? Now, she is all alone, with her friends gone and those happy times as a distant memory. Trying to distract herself, she starts looking at the surrounding city through her binoculars. The entire city is still submerged in water and only a few buildings remain above the surface. It's like Waterworld, except Kevin Costner's sweet ass is nowhere to be found. As she scans the area, she notices some survivors in another building. Then she spots a box floating in the water below. Thinking it might contain some useful items, Asha decides to retrieve it. She goes down to the submerged apartment and attempts to pull the box towards her using a pin. However, the water is teeming with creatures, and one of the fish catches hold of the box. It yanks Asha towards the broken window and injures her in the hand. But despite this, she doesn't give up and somehow manages to retrieve the box. Asha then excitedly opens the box, only to find a bottle of whiskey inside. Since she doesn't drink, she uses the alcohol to later clean her wound. During the night, Asha hears some noises and sees a group of robbers approaching the building in search of food. This frightens her, so she quickly throws all her belongings under the garbage and hides herself in a room. The group of robbers then enters the building and starts searching every apartment. Suddenly, a teenager in the group starts firing a gun randomly.
Let's go, boys! Woo, yeah!
The banging sound of the gunfire makes Asha clench her teeth. To calm herself, she retreats into her memories, recalling the good times with her younger sister. These memories bring her a small sense of comfort. After a while, the robbers leave, and Asha comes out of her hiding place. She tries to sleep, but is once again overwhelmed by the same recurring nightmare, where her family is drowning, and she is helpless to save them. The next day, Asha tidies up her place a bit and ventures into the water under the building, where she finds some boxes. She discovers a bottle of jam inside one of them, and the smell lifts her spirits.
Strawberry jam, yum.
However, her joy is short-lived when she looks outside and sees the floating body of a girl. This devastates her, and she quickly retreats to her room. That night, Asha hears some more noises in the building. Alarmed, she turns on the lights to check, but doesn't see anyone. Realizing something is amiss, she washes her hands in the sink and leaves some soap. As she is about to leave, she notices a little girl taking the soap. Asha catches her, but the girl fights back and hides in another place. At this moment, Asha realizes that it is the same girl she had seen in the water earlier that day. The girl was not dead. In fact, she is well alive and inside the building. The next day, Asha goes out to find the girl and discovers her sleeping on a sofa in another room, but she doesn't take any action and instead goes to cook her food. After some time, Asha notices the girl has stolen many items from her room, including a photo of her family. She tries to catch her and takes back the photo, but the girl runs away again. As night falls, the girl stays in a room filled with water. Feeling pity for for her, Asha makes her noodles and brings them down to her. This girl reminds Asha of her younger sister, triggering a flashback to a time when she was with her family, celebrating her sister's birthday. Asha remembers giving her a gift, followed by her parents giving her sister a family necklace. This shocks Asha because she had always expected to receive the necklace when she grew up. However, her parents had never paid much attention to her. In a fit of rage, she storms out of the room. As Asha reflects on her memories, we see that she is wearing the same necklace. Meanwhile, the girl refuses to take the offered noodles, so Asha leaves them there and returns to her room. But right after she departs, the girl changes her stance and hungrily eats the food. The next day, as a gesture of gratitude, the girl returns all the items she had stolen. Touched by this, Asha cooks food for her, and they both go up to the roof together. Although Asha feels good having someone with her after so many years, she finds it difficult to speak because she hasn't talked to anyone for so long. She doesn't communicate with the girl, but sets up another bed in her room that night. As they both try to sleep, the girl suddenly starts crying, saying that she misses her parents a lot. For the first time, Asha talks to her, comforting her by saying that they will find her parents. The girl then reveals that her name is Hai. The next morning, they go to the terrace to scan the surroundings. While Asha is looking for supplies, Hai notices a sticky strip that is attached to the roof door. She curiously removes it, but ends up closing the door completely. Turns out the lock was faulty and Asha had used the strip to hold open the door. This means that they are trapped on the roof with no way to get down. How could either of them be that dumb? Asha begins to panic, fearing that they are going to die here. But the little girl casually manages to open the lock with the help of a wire. Asha is relieved and impressed by Hai's resourcefulness. However, she warns the little girl not to touch anything without telling her, and to keep quiet to avoid attracting robbers. She emphasizes that she has set things up carefully, and they need to be cautious. During their conversation, Hai inquires about what they will do if the robbers come again. Asha reassures her that there is a safe place where they can hide. She also makes it clear that they won't try to run away because the surrounding water has become very dangerous. Later at night, Asha notices that the necklace she was wearing has gone missing. Since it was the final memory of her little sister, she becomes desperate to find it. Asha later confronts Hai, suspecting that she might have stolen it, but this only offends the little girl. So she takes all of her belongings and moves to another room. The situation triggers a memory from Asha's past. Her parents always favored her younger sister, giving her everything first. This favoritism caused Asha to feel intense jealousy, leading to a strained relationship with both her sister and her parents. So she killed them. No. The next morning, Asha notices that Hai is using drinking water to wash clothes and wasting their precious supplies. This upsets her further, but she doesn't take any action. That night, Asha experiences another terrifying nightmare where she relives the tsunami that flooded her building. She dreams of running away in panic and begins screaming in her sleep. Fortunately, Hai hears her distress and gently wakes her up. As the two start talking again, Asha explains how to use the water sparingly. She also advises the little girl to stay away from electrical appliances and not to listen to the radio loudly, as it could attract the robbers. A curious Hai then inquires about the room that has been closed for a long time, but Asha tells her that it smells very bad, so they should avoid it. Later, the little girl listens to the radio and learns that help is being provided to some survivors in a nearby city. Excited by this news, she approaches Asha and suggests that they should also try to reach that city. However, Asha refuses, as she believes the risk is too high. She explains that the waters are infested with sharks, so there is no way they can reach the other city. Hearing this, Hai calls her a coward and storms out of the room. She then decides to venture out alone and starts making a raft from plastic bottles. Asha warns her about the dangers outside the apartment, including the lack of food and supplies. But the little girl disregards her concerns and instead pulls out a flare gun. She explains that she got it from a junkyard a few days ago and has kept it for protection ever since. Asha becomes worried upon seeing it, as an accidental firing of the gun could attract looters. However, she doesn't scold Hai and simply claims that she has tried many times to leave the apartment, but has always failed. While talking about their situation, Asha recalls a past incident when she wanted to leave her home. She was tired of her parents favoring her younger sister, giving her all the attention and things she wanted. This led to a big argument with them, and Asha decided to leave the house. In the present, Asha finds the missing necklace, which had simply fallen on the side of the bed. This proves that the little girl hadn't stolen it, or she had and she just put it back, I don't know. Feeling guilty for the misunderstanding, Asha apologizes to her later on. The next day, it finally rains after a long time, and the duo manages to collect a lot of drinking water. Amidst the activity, Asha Asha starts to realize that surviving alone is not safe in the long run. It would be better to live in a community where robbers can't reach them. Hence, Asha changes her mind and decides to help Hai with the raft. The scene shifts to a flashback, and we learn that when Asha left home, her sister followed her. They walked through the streets and slowly started opening up to one another, but just when they decided to return home, the city was hit by a gigantic tsunami. The two tried their best to escape, but the little sister couldn't make it and sadly passed away. Ever since, Asha has been blaming herself for not being able to protect her sister, but now that she has Hai in her life, her wounds have started healing. Back in the present, Asha gives Hai the same necklace as a gift, symbolically adopting her as her younger sister. After a few days, the raft is ready and the girls prepare to leave. However, disaster strikes when Hai accidentally turns on the radio and attracts the looming robbers. This prompts the duo to quickly throw away their belongings in a corner. Hai then hides inside a fake wall, while Asha goes to the smelly room. The robbers soon arrive and start destroying the apartments. They find the food items Asha and Hai had left and realize that someone might be living in the apartment. Sadly, it doesn't take them much time to discover the little girl near the wall. As Asha hears Hai's cries, she is flooded with memories of her sister being in danger during the tsunami and her inability to save her. Determined not to repeat the same mistake, Asha decides to act. She grabs the flare gun and comes out of hiding. She then uses it on one of the robbers and manages to kill him. Following this, Asha sets up a trap and turns on the radio to lure the remaining robbers. As a few men approach her, Asha seizes the opportunity to fight back. She manages to kill another man by striking him in the head with a guitar, but the leader of the group sends more of his men to find her. Asha then retreats to the same smelly room she had hidden in earlier. It turns out that she had deliberately placed dead bodies to deter the robbers. When one of them enters the room, Asha uses the dead bodies to frighten him, before making him a dead body too. She then takes his knife and carefully begins eliminating the remaining robbers one by one. Eventually, Asha reaches the leader and a fierce fight ensues between them. During the struggle, all three of them, Asha, Hai, and the leader, fall into the water. Knowing that sharks are in the water, Asha quickly takes the little girl to a hiding spot. Shortly after, a massive shark appears and attacks the leader, killing him on the spot. Asha and Hai then quickly board the robber's boat. Thankfully, it is well stocked with food and other necessary supplies. The next morning, Asha wakes up with a smile on her face. Felt good to kill a ton of people like that. She and Hai can finally look forward to a new life together. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.